Hey guys, it's just Monday out here. I had to go over to the warehouse. We actually had one of our employees have a virus scare, so we had to go over some new procedures. It's just crazy morning. But anyways, got that all handled. The good witch is here. We're just doing some general yard work. I'm going to cover a couple things. This morning I went back and sprayed the green with super juice and a little bit of bug killer. I'm going to show you that. I want to talk to you a little bit about the backyard. We just cut it and why sometimes a 7 blade is better than a 10 blade. But I really want to start off by showing you the difference of what Humichart can do to your soil. This is kind of amazing, and I discovered this while I was edging the other day. So my front yard has had probably about 5 heavy Humichart treatments over a full season. Plus, when it gets on the driveway, I blow it into the crack. So this one area over here gets a lot of Humichart. Across the street, I'm gonna go over and take another sample, and I want you to look at the difference. So just so you understand, I took a sample from right here, right on this edge, and just see how dark it looks. Then I went over to the test patch where we really don't put a lot of Humichart over here, and I grabbed it from the sidewalk area, and I put them side by side, and I want you to look at the difference of these two. All right, see the difference in color there? Humichart, non-Humichart. Matter of fact, let me move them. So look at this. This is crazy, this difference. Humichart, no Humichart. All right, so a lot of people ask, when you're talking about biochar, biochar cannot be liquidized. It can be very fine, it can be micronized, but you can't liquidize it. So if you have something in liquid form, it's not true biochar. It has to be granulized. So that's why biochar, humic is easy, it's liquid basically. But when it comes to true biochar, it takes a long time for it to move through hard soil. And what I always say, the rule of thumb is you can probably get maybe a full season of biochar, maybe 3/4 to an inch of true penetration on your soil. You got to understand how this works. You cannot liquidize it. Understand the difference. So, and this is what my soil looks like all over the entire area. But I want you to see what happens right here. So I've got approximately, 1.25 inch penetration of this right here. And that dark area is increased in CECs, cation exchange capability or capacity. Your cation, your CEC is really important because that tells you how well your soil can hold on to the nutrients. And we've bumped our lawn up from about a 5 to an 8 this year using the Humichar. It really is strong. So I'm gonna go over and pull another plug just to see the other area too. Okay, so I went across the street over in that little sidewalk strip, the same place I got the other dirt, and I pulled a test plug. And you can see that on this plug, I don't have any of that upper dark area. So this area was not getting any Humichar, so I'm solid red clay all the way up to that thatch layer. So here's an important point when it comes to Humichar. The majority of lawn care products that we put out on our lawn have a life cycle. So if I come out and put fertilizer out, I'm going to put fertilizer and it's going to last X number of weeks. It's going to last 6 to 8 weeks or whatever it might last. And then it's gone. Humichar is different. Every Humichar, it's like a building investment. It's your lawn 401k. Let's call it that. Because what happens is it never goes away. So the biochar and Humichar will be here 200 to 500 years from now. When you're long gone, your biochar product is still going to be in this soil. It never goes away. It's permanent. And that's the nice thing about it. So we come in and probably, I would say, 2 seasons of applications, we're going to cut our fertilizer usage down by about 50%, and we're going to have this really dark, rich soil that has a really high CEC. If you don't understand CEC, I've done a bunch of different videos about it, but it's really cool. That's why we're investing on it. Morning. It's 6:55 in the morning. I'm not here to make a video, by the way. I've been spraying the putting green with super juice and a little bit of extra liquid iron every single week, and it's really looking good. But today, I also saw a couple of ants burrowing in, and that corner down there has a lot of bugs, so I figured I'd add a real good insecticide to use if you have any bug problems is permethrin. I'll put a link to this, I'll put a link to the super juice, and I'll put a link to the spray, the new spray bottles, which I think are going to be back in stock here this week because they sold out. But permethrin is really safe, especially if you have pets. They actually use it on kennels, livestock, and just make sure you read the label and use it correctly. What I've been doing is I've just been mixing up super juice and liquid iron in a gallon jug, and then I'm coming out and I just leave it in my garage. People ask, can you keep it if you just mix it and store it? Yes. So I got a gallon, and I come out and I spray one bottle of it every once a week out here on the green. So yes, you can mix it and just leave it and store it. It's not going to hurt it. So what I'm doing is I'm just using this measuring scoop here. And then I'm just going to carefully, we're going to spray that on the green. I got down on my hands and knees the other day and I was looking through a microscope at the green, and man, you can see all kinds of little bugs and stuff. So a lot of people have been asking, why I'm not doing a whole bunch of super juice on my lawn this year, and it's pretty simple. It's because of we've really constrained ourself on our testing results. What we really wanted to do is we wanted to strictly use PGF Complete and Humichar on our lawns this year, and it's just been amazing. This lawn is just, I'll show you in a minute, just been amazing. But I'm at the time of year, it's August, temperatures are kind of high. I've got some growth regulator down, and my lawn, I've put out fertilizers. I don't need anything else. The only thing I can probably do is probably once a week come out and just do a light spray of super juice on it. Again, this is the same product that golf courses use. Golf courses use it's humic acid. It's a 7:1:2 ratio, very, very mild. It has micronutrients. It has sea kelp. It basically has all the catchwords that you hear out there for sprays on turf. It basically has everything inside of it. Will you see a stimulated response from this? Probably not. You're not going to see a big pop from this. The only thing is the new super juice formula has, I believe it's 4% iron versus the old 2.5. So it has a higher iron content inside of it, which you definitely will see a green response from that. Again, we don't use any dye in this. This year we're not using any dyes because of the new spray bottles. I don't have issues with clogging. So that's why we just not used any dye. Okay, so yesterday I did a video about putting down products and using the morning dew to help you watch what's going down. You can do the same thing with super juice or any spray that you're using. Let me give you an example here. So you can see pretty clearly where I've sprayed and where I haven't sprayed. And that's one of the nice things about using this dew, using a dew when you spray something as well too. Come out in the morning and use that dew. But this is a great way to do this. Now with super juice, I prefer to spray it out in the evening, but you can do it early morning. Leave it on the grass for about 3 or 4 hours. Once the sun comes up, quickly run your irrigation and rinse it down in. That's a fine way to do it. So when you hear things like humic acid, sea kelp, iron, micronutrients, biostimulants, whenever you hear those key phrases, that's basically what you have in super juice. It's just in a much easier form. So it comes in a bag that will treat up to 2 acres, just depending on the strength ratio you mix up. I mix it up fairly strong, just simply because it's really, really mild. You're not going to burn your lawn with super juice. It's very mild. So you can spray it on, you can leave it. What I like to do is I like to spray it on late at night, leave it overnight, and then run my irrigation in the morning. Because any foliar transfer is going to happen within a couple hours, and then the rest of it gets pushed down to the lawn. So a lot of people are wanting to see the green close up, and let me show you what I'm looking like here. This is what I'm looking like on the green. And this is cut. Right now, this is probably about a 1/4 of an inch. Dude, those are so cool. There's another one there. So I was cutting. The good witch is here, and she's over here cutting the back. And then she's going to go cut barbs. We got a bunch of different stuff we're doing today. But I did want to talk to you real quick about, I was using the Greenskeeper mower back here, which is a 10 blade. I have a 10 blade version. And to be honest, because we're cutting so low and this lawn is so thick, actually a lower blade count is a little bit better back here. A higher blade count really should be reserved for like super short grass like putting green. A lot of people think the more blades you have the better, but that's not true when you get into a little bit taller grass and it's thicker. So we find that the 7 blade actually cuts better than the 10 blade when you're in a residential lawn setting. So don't think that you have to have 10 blades for a mower to cut well. This thing is actually cutting a lot better. But that looks really nice. So she's done back here. Man, I gotta say, the grass looks fantastic. Now, this is actually the best I think it's ever looked, probably in a few weeks. And we're actually using the GR series. I'll link below to this reel mower, and it actually looks really good. So she's putting back my solar lights. It's the routine, man. The garden looks wonderful. So these are the tomato plants. If you don't remember them, they were 8 inches tall about 4 weeks ago. So yellow squash is coming back after a hard cut. Tomato plants look good. Green peppers are good. I think that's the best this lawn has looked in a long time. Oh. Look at it. Yeah. It's a lot more even, the cut, and it just looks really good. I mean, that's golf course looking. Yeah. It looks really good. So now she's got to go cut barbs. I don't know how that'll cut because it's so thick right now from all the treatments. We'll see. So I think I let barbs get a little beyond the good cutting height here, but I'll probably have to come back and pick up some clippings. But man, her lawn is just looking phenomenal. So this is the cut. This is the uncut right here. So one of the things I want to do today, I want to talk about Bermuda and shade. And we've been playing this year with the growth regulator and super juice and a few different things, and the results have been pretty good actually. So let me explain real quick. So my entire lawn receives full sunlight all day except for this back area over here, and that usually by this time of the year is just about raw dirt over there. So you see, because I've got all these trees all around, it gets a little bit of morning sun, and then by afternoon it's all shaded. So the Bermuda does not do well over there. So what we've done over here is we've been testing growth regulator to see if it helps. There are some notations that it does help with shaded areas. So we've been hitting this area pretty hard with growth regulator, and we've been spraying super juice with it, which is a very mild formula, and I gotta say I'm pretty impressed with it. The grass has a completely different look to it, feel to it, but at least it's green and it looks good. Let me show you. I'm gonna get some of this dew off this grass here. I'm just gonna show you what my normal Bermuda looks like. So nice straight Bermuda leaves. This is what it looks like, super thick. Now this is from Humichar and PGF Complete. That's what we're putting down here. Over here, I'm actually kind of shocked. It's done really well. This area over here is normally just about dirt. It's almost pure raw dirt. But look at it. It has a different texture, feel, and look. See it? While it's not super thick and lush like the other grass, and it has a little bit different look. So you can tell the growth regulator is actually sort of shrinking this. But you know what? I'll take that right there. That looks pretty good. So we've put down PGF Complete over here, pretty heavy PGF Complete. Then we went ahead and we put down the granular growth regulator, all linked in the description below, and then we've been treating with super juice. And I'm real happy with that shaded result. That's the best this shaded area has ever looked. So does growth regulator help in shaded areas? My findings this year are yes. It's very small looking grass. It's very dense, but at least it's there. Where normally that area would be just about dirt this year. So 2 thumbs up for that. Morning. Well, it's actually the next morning. It's about 9:30, and the Good Witch is coming over. She's got to cut the test patch and the world's worst. She'll be cutting that today. I got a few other things for her to do, and I need to teach her how to cut the putting green. So there's going to be a couple of days coming up where I won't be here, and I want the putting green cut. I'm cutting it every 24 to 48 hours, and I want to keep cutting it at that length. So I got to train her on that. But I just sort of a summary today. We really have learned that it's not necessarily the more blades on a real mower, especially when you get into residential lawns. I think the 7-blade versus a 10-blade is a better mower for grasses that are over 3/4 of an inch. When you go below that, when you start, doing 1/4 of an inch cuts, then you want that 10-blade. But I would stick with the 7-blade. Also, don't forget Humichar. We're going to keep pounding down Humichar. We're going to keep putting it down. The PGF Balance will be out the beginning of September. That's a new 10-10-10. Don't forget your bug treatments if you got bug treatments. And that's about it. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.